Okay, so I say this literally all the time, probably more often than I say, hey there, creepy peeps. I love a good anthology. Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite horror anthology books that are sitting right here off screen. That's what I'm hitting. And at least one of you asked for this video, so that's all that I need, so here we go. When it comes to books specifically, one of the reasons I love anthologies so much is because they are a great way to get out of a reading slump. They're one of my go-to ways to get out of a reading slump because you can just read one or two stories and that can help instead of reading an entire book. I tend to read all of my anthologies really slowly, sort of for that reason. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for a short story, other times I'm trying to get out of a reading slump or whatever the case may be. So I don't normally log these on Storygraph. They're also kind of great if you just want to build up a habit of reading more, because it's very easy to just be like, okay, I'll read like one or two chapters a night, and then before you know it, you finish the entire book. So I do have a whole shelf dedicated just to fiction anthologies. I do have a couple of anthologies in other places like graphic novels and things like that, but these are kind of like the main anthologies that I have. There's like two or three that I know for sure that I've completely read all the way through, but most of these I've picked at for years, some of them. But I do want to talk about some of my favorites from like my childhood, and by childhood I mean like high school years, and more recent favorites. As you could see on my shelf, I do have some anthologies that are very specific. Some of them have a theme, other ones are just kind of more general anthologies. Probably apparent looking at that shelf that not only do I love a good anthology, but I love an anthology that has a theme. Oh, one of my first ever horror anthology favorites, one that I've read many times, is Night Terrors. It's edited by Lois Duncan, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've read anything else from any of these other authors with the exception of Annette Curtis Klaus, who wrote one story in this. And the tagline of the book I love is not exactly bedtime stories, and that's exactly how I read these. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure when and where I got this, but you know, for all I know, it just appeared on my bookshelf. I absolutely love this anthology. It's a classic to me. Yes. These next two are more firmly in the I definitely read them in high school category. When I was in high school, I was reading a lot of like paranormal romance types, all young adult, but you know, like that was the trend back when I was in high school. So one anthology that I went back to and devoured many times is Prom Nights from Hell. These are a bit longer stories because there's only 5 authors in this anthology, and obviously, as you can tell from the title, these are all horror stories that are based around like a prom night. Definitely went through a very intense Twilight phase in my high school years, so I mean, yeah. Also obsessed with Meg Cabot's books at the time too. She had that series, oh, I can't think, what was the name of the series? It was like a Medium series, like The Medium. Obsessed with that series, so that was like the main reason I picked this up. I do remember that. During my 10K live stream, which I'll link up here if you want to watch me lose my mind doing a puzzle, somebody asked me what my like horror movie queer route was, and my answer was definitely in terms of like movies. But if I'm really thinking about it, like genuinely, I think this book is probably my queer like book route. I think this is the first time I remember reading a book with queer stories in it, and I was like, what? And was subsequently obsessed because, as I would later find out, right, that is The Rose and the Beast, which are fairy tale retellings. I was obsessed from the get-go because like I love the format of the book. You can see like the page format of it. I don't know why I like this so much. It's contained on the page, and I just find that really like pleasing to the eye. I like that the queer stories in here are just like I don't want to say like understated, but it's literally just like, here, they exist. Like fairy tales not only are cautionary tales, but usually depict kind of like the transfiguring power of love. And that's very prominent in this, and I quite enjoyed it. Okay, these last ones are more recent additions, but with themes I think all of you guys are going to enjoy. I know we're getting into like spooky season, so this one, bear with me, it's a Christmas one, but it's so much fun. The only thing that could possibly rival like Halloween themed horror movies are Christmas themed horror movies, or winter holiday, I should say, themed horror, because I don't know, it's just so fun. I love, I don't even want to call it like juxtaposition of like a happy holiday and like dark, scary themes, because all holidays that take place around the end of December like this, at least in the northern hemisphere for sure, all have darkness surrounding them. You know, the days are super short, the nights are super duper long, it's cold, and all winter holidays have that like dark thread running through them. So I just really love like kind of winter and holiday horror stories. So Hark the Herald, Angel Scream. I just love the cover too. I don't know, the cover art just is, it tickles me. It's great. Obviously this one's a more recent anthology, so there's a lot of like names that are popular right now in horror and dark fantasy and dark fiction. Yeah, this is just if you want something fun to read for the holiday season, this one. I definitely saved the like more Halloween spooky ones for last, because it's that time. So this first one I'm gonna mention was a gift. It came in a very large, very generous like care package, I guess I should say, from a patron. It was like a couple years ago now. One of them was this book that I am obsessed with. Like, I gotta say, like immediately as soon as I pulled it out of the box and saw this cover, like the aesthetics are just it's this Tales of Witchcraft. Like I'll just give you a moment to appreciate the cover. I know, it's fucking stunning. like I pulled it out and immediately just thought like this might be something that the girls would have bought in that witchy like occult shop in the craft. Does it not look like that? Like, I'm obsessed with this cover. It takes everything in my power not to just like take pretty pictures of this and post them on my Instagram. Like, my whole Instagram feed like could just be this book. I know I'm sounding a little crazy right now because it's all just about a cover. I don't know. It looks very like tarot card to me, and just I could stare at this book all day. I will say I'm not as excited that it's a lot of male authors in this. That's the only like kind of downside. I kind of make up for the content of that one. Not that it's bad, but like I said, it's just written by a lot of men. I will end with a kind of similar anthology in that the theme is witchcraft. It's more specifically women and feminine presenting people in witchcraft, and every single of the 15 stories in this anthology are written by women and feminine presenting people. And the cover is equally gorgeous. Like, again, could I make my whole Instagram this book cover? I absolutely could. Would everybody unfollow me because I'm just posting the same 2 books all the time? Yeah. I love the cover of this one too. I don't mean this in a bad way when I say this, but it's very like pumpkin spice basic bitch Pinterest board. Do you see it? Like, that's the vibes it's giving me, and I genuinely don't mean that in a bad way, because I fuck with that. I fuck with that hard. This is another more recent anthology, so it's a lot of more recent authors, and this is specifically YA. So the representation is 1,000 times better than this beautiful book, or better depictions of witchcraft and witches. And there's queer rep in here also. So thought I'd end on another beautiful book, but honestly, like, would you guys unfollow me if I just took pictures of these books all the time? So, because we all just want to add more to our TBR all the time, if you have a favorite horror anthology, please share them in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post 2 new videos every week. I do live streams, collabs, all that fun stuff. So I'll see you very soon with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.